Next up, we have Esther. Thank you.
Hello. So, here's the thing. The charity that I want to tell you about today, they didn't have a big idea as such. They just had a simple idea, but they took that idea and they made it big. Let me just give you a bit of a background. So this guy here, his name's Scott Harrison. And Scott's in his early 20s, and he's, you know, a club promoter in New York. He's getting paid thousands of dollars to get people into nightclubs. He's living a pretty, you know, decadent lifestyle. He's got the, you know, Rolex watch that Ken Burnett probably has, you know. And, but after years of living this lifestyle, he felt empty, you know, spiritually bankrupt, and he felt the urge to do good. So off he went to Africa, where he volunteered for about 2 years, helping schools and hospitals. And I think it's fair to say he got a pretty big culture shock when he was there. You know, just really sort of what became apparent to him was the lack of access to clean water. You know, people getting their water from, you know, muddy pools and rivers, you know, and with all kinds of bacteria and all kinds of things you can't even imagine. So upon being told that there were 1 billion people across the planet without access to clean water, he decided to come back to New York and do something about it. And thus Charity Water was born. Now, these guys, their stats are pretty impressive. They started up in 2006. By 2009, they'd already racked up about $10 million worth of income. But how did they do that? You know, they were the first charity to reach 1 million followers on Twitter. They take 100% of their publicly raised funds and they take it direct to the projects, while all other costs are raised privately by private donors. But what is it that's so compelling to me? You know, what was their idea and how did they do such a huge amount in a short space of time? I'm just going to play a little video for you, please, and that will explain how. Play the video, please. Oh. No, okay, the video's not playing. I knew this would happen. So that's okay, I've saved about a minute. So what happened was, anyway, he came back and he was turning 31. So he invited all his friends to a birthday party and asked each of his friends to give $20 for his 31st birthday. Now, 700 people turned up to that birthday party. So this guy he knows quite a lot of people. And so from the money that he raised, about 15 grand, he took that back to Uganda and they built about 6 wells there. But that's the concept. It's so simple. You know, give me, you know, $20 for, you know, my birthday instead of gifts, for example. And that's what I like about this idea. It's so easy, it's so achievable, it's expandable, you know, it's so easy to do. You know, other people, you're not asking them for much. You're not asking them for anything more than they were going to give you anyway, unless you're in my family and you get a packet of biscuits. And seriously, who wraps up a packet of biscuits anyway? So that's the idea I love. And you know, they did this year on year. You know, the first year they raised something like $150,000. They did it again the following year. They raised $1 million. And yeah, that's what I love really about it. Now, what else? Sticky thing. Shoot. Even Justin Bieber gave up his 70th birthday for Charity Water. Bieber fans out there, although he still looks about 10 years old to me, but anyway. What else do I love? They tell a good story, you know, and the video that I was going to show you, you'll see what I mean. They're a big fan of using video and powerful imagery to communicate their story. What they did was they talked about the need, they talked about the problem, they talked about the solution. You know, it's very straightforward. It was one of the first videos I saw that didn't go down the typical DRTV route. And do go onto their website and you'll see what I mean for themselves. You know, it doesn't tug at the heartstrings. It doesn't, you know, there aren't any fly-covered children, you know, and, you know, fair play for other charities that do that. But with this approach, it was very straightforward. And that's what they find engaged people on an emotional level. Powerful imagery, as I said again. There you go. They're famous for their images of dirty water. You know, they've been doing it from the start. They've been doing it ever since, and they found it to be one of their most powerful tools, really strong imagery. And this is the charity that really knows how to have fun with their brand. I'm not doing social media, very important for Charity Water. As I mentioned, they've got over 1 million followers on Twitter. They're everywhere where they need to be. you know, and they don't use it to raise money. They use it to drive their message. They use it to inspire people. This year, what they're doing is they're ramping up their email strategy so that throughout the 18 months that it takes to build a well, they're creating more email touch points with their donors. They've also created a platform called My Charity Water, and this is so that other September babies can get their, you know, their friends involved. And it's not just about giving up your birthday, it's about giving up, you know, your wedding gifts or, you know, type of food that you like for a month. For them, it's really about creating a movement. And yeah, so those are the kind of things that I like. Is it innovative? Not really. It's just a simple idea. What is really mind-blowing to me is that this charity is only 6 years old, and look what they've achieved in such a short space of time. And the message I suppose I want to leave you with is that, you know, it's not always the best ideas that, you know, have to be developed around a new craze or a funky buzzword. Sometimes the best ideas are the simple ones, but just really beautifully executed. Thank you.